Hello everyone, my name is Harasymczuk and I would like to introduce you to the top 10 things which Analog Astronaut Training Center is providing to our students. First couple of words about me. I'm a scuba diving instructor and I'm a co-founder of Astronaut, AATC and Micropura. I was for a couple of last years I was involved also with International Institute of Astronautical Sciences. I was working at European Space Agency, I was working at Polish Air Navigation Services Agency, Center for Information Technology with Polish Ministry of Interior, and Allegro Group. Let's dive deep into the top 10 things. In my opinion, education is very crucial. This is one of the most important part, and AATC is providing a platform, a framework for you to conduct your research and your thesis in our habitat. So far, we resulted with 10 bachelor's theses, 9 master's theses, 4 dissertations, PhD dissertations, and 9 books. We are organizing rocket workshops every year and also junior space camps for younger kids, but also student space workshops and conferences like this one, but also stratospheric workshops. Research is in our foundation. This is why we established AATC. We have so far 134 conference proceedings with 3 awarded papers. We have also 3 peer-reviewed journal papers, but there's 5 more in progress, and hopefully in very near future we will have this number much higher. AATC is organizing expeditions, like the one to the Longyearbyen, Svalbard, where we measure contamination of biocontamination of human habitats. We go into the wild and we take samples, which we later analyze in the lab, how humans contaminate nature. We did this also at Aquarius Reef Base Habitat in Florida, in Isla Morada. AATC is deeply involved with stratospheric science. We have so far completed 20 parallel, which means 2 balloons in the same time, parallel missions with the maximum altitude of 39,405 meters, which is absolutely our record. But we are not going to stop there, and we are aiming even higher. AATC is involved in diving, which is particular interest of mine. We conduct recreational diving, technical diving, trimix diving, scientific diving, commercial diving, and quite recently also CCR diving. I am a qualified instructor and I teach courses in many of those topics. So if you want to sign up, we will be able to give you certification in one of those scuba diving agencies because we collaborate with NAUI, INTD, and also PADI. We organize 3 times a year. We organize a trip to Dahab, which is on Sinai Peninsula in Egypt, and this is amazing place. Not only because it's very nice for relax, but it is also one of the best. In case of logistics and equipment, one of the best dive spots for technical diving. AATC is deeply involved with the engineering. This is in something that we do on everyday basis. And we came up with the idea of random positioning machine. This is according to the specification of Jack Loom from European Space Agency. But this machine was already field tested and proven in scientific laboratories and research facilities. And this machine is something that we were able to conduct research, and hopefully, because currently one of the papers, which is currently being in proceedings, shows that this machine can can participate in healing of the for the cancer patient treatment. So that might be something extraordinary. We are also involved with the Micropura microbiological contamination sensor, and this sensor is also a spin-off. So we created a company to create those sensors in which you can measure your fungi, viral, and bacterial contamination of your environment for your family and friends. And also using the AI machine learning we came up with the species of these pathogens which are there in your environment, so that you can protect your family. AATC, in partnership with Cameron Smith from Portland State University in Arizona University, we created lunar extravehicular mobility suits. We call them LEM, and this is our first iterations of those suits. This is a pressurized suit, but it's agile enough so that our participants can climb. We sponsored this project, and we are currently owners of those suits, in which we are using in our analog simulations. We are also deeply involved with the underwater suits development called Otter Mark 1. This is a suit which is particular interest of mine. This is me here on these pictures, because this is underwater EVA training suit, and this is very, very unique because it's pressurized and it's very, very good for EVA training. But we also collaborated with Dr. Arkadiusz Szos, who is retired medic from the military, and we created advanced crew medical restraint system, a system which provides which gives ability for the astronauts to perform cardiopulmonary resuscitation (CPR) in space conditions, in microgravity. And we designed the system so that free floating participants can perform fully CPR on par with the quality of pressure chest compressions with a gravity environment. So this is very unique. This is very unique device too. AATC is also involved with the aviation. We tested our space suits, the LEM suits, also in the human centrifuge in Warsaw Military Institute of Aviation Medicine, which we also use for our students to practice and perform the high G maneuvers. We were able to test our suits with plus 7.5 G Z axis and 5.5 G X axis, which is quite extraordinary. But we also tested this in 0G, which is another amazing feature. That was a huge advancement in our testing facilities and testing protocols. But we also took those suits and we put them in a high altitude chamber for up to 10 kilometers, which is 33,000 feet. That's very high. This is the altitude at which airliners fly. And this is because we want to put you, our students, into those suits, and we are investigating right now the possibility of flying high into the stratosphere with the balloons, and this is the reason why we are investigating the concept of stratospheric suits too. Particular interest of mine is, of course, underwater. So in collaboration with International Institute of Astronautical Sciences, IAS, formerly known as Project Possum, we created a program which is called EVA 602 Underwater Analog EVA. This program gives possibility of participants to perform underwater EVA. And there's a couple of different tasks for you to do. One of those tasks is to perform the EVA, nominal EVA run during the day conditions, but also during the night conditions with very limited light source. But we also have the portable foot restraint, and we quite recently we added another additional aspect of our training, which is the rescue of incapacitated astronaut during the night condition with the human subjects, with the human in the loop. This is a pinnacle of our training there. So we conduct this training in Groton, Connecticut, which is in between New York and Boston, in collaboration with Survival Systems USA in their pool, where they teach Navy and US Air Force. But one of the main reasons why we came up with the idea of AATC is to build a habitat. And the habitat, and currently we're having two habitats, Habitat 1.0 and 2.0, and the 1.0 habitat is being phased out. So currently there's only 2 more missions in this habitat and we are done, because we are moving all of our activities into the habitat number 2, which is 6 times larger, and we are still expanding it. So it's much larger, is better equipped than the previous habitat, and we have a huge possibility there. In both habitats, we currently run the same Habitat OS, which is the operating system connected to IoT edge devices, which measures and gives us possibility to real-time tracking and monitoring of CO2 levels, temperature, humidity, and some other aspects of the atmosphere in different modules, so that we know exact environment in which our true participants they are conducting their research. As I told you, the Habitat 1 is being phased out, but in Habitat 2 we did something extraordinary, and this is the main cause why we are building Habitat and why we came up with the idea of Analog Astronaut Training Center in the first place. So basically, analog missions. So far we've conducted 103 analog missions. This is a huge number, which puts us in a strict leadership in the world of the analog missions. And this is also the entry point. So if you want to participate in one of our activities, probably this would be the first one for you to attend. We will meet there, we will see how you perform, we will see how you perform your science, but also collaborate. And if you are good spirited, if you are willing to conduct some more science, if you want to hook up with us for more, then we will continue with you further. But also the pinnacle of what we currently achieved is something which is called Analog Colony. But before that, I will tell you one more thing. So each year we are trying to have more and more missions. Currently we're in decline because we are phasing out the Habitat number 1. As of today, we did 11 missions in 2025, but there's 2 more planned and currently being organized for this year. So I put number 13, which places us with 105 at the end of the year. But the pinnacle of the whole thing is Analog Colony. Okay, it's not analog mission, it's Analog Colony. We came up with the term too. So basically, this is the largest analog in the world with 31 participants, and also the youngest analog astronaut. She was 6, so that would be hard to beat. But nevertheless, it was a simulation in which 31 participants for over a week. We had to collaborate with each other. We had different teams. We had management problems that we have to solve, and we had to conduct science and research. And with our partners, we were able to conduct microbiome synchronization experiment where we sequenced DNA, and we isolated and identified the microbes in your guts. And we were able to conduct the research on that, which is one of the papers which is going to be published. And this is a big deal because this is the first of this kind of type of the research being conducted. But the next year, and one of the reasons why we're expanding with the Habitat 2.0 is to have 50 participants. Yes, you heard that right. 50 participants, Analog Colony 2. And we are striding even further. So we want to have to be leaders. So far, previously the biggest analog was 12 people. Right now we conducted 31, but the next one will be 50, which is 5 times bigger than the previous one. And this is not our final word. And we're also collaborating with Mars Ocean Analog, with Rates 2. Rates, he's record holder for the longest single person sailing in the world. He was sailing for over 1,000 days alone on the sea without seeing anyone else. So he is very skilled and experienced sailor. And he lived on the boat. He did all of the stuff alone, including the Cape Horn passage, and including living there on board, growing crops, like literally doing everything. And we have our collaboration with them. As you can see, Analog Astronaut Training Center is full of activities that you can participate in. We also conducted the space exploration workshop in India. We also conducted some extreme medicine trainings and first aid trainings, which we can give you certification of. We encourage you to participate in our citizen scientist programs. We have amazing capabilities, amazing facilities, state-of-the-art possibility of using state-of-the-art human centrifuge, high altitude chamber, which can simulate the environment up to 40 kilometers in altitude. We have stratospheric platform in our balloons where we fly to 40 kilometers altitude, almost 39.4, but we are not done yet. We are able to teach you, but also we are able to dive with you, both recreationally and technically, with air, deep air, or trimix gases, up to very deep possibilities. But as you saw also, that we are involved with this operation underwater EVA training, but also with the pressurized suit. So as you can see, we divide our activities in 3 categories: scientific research, science education, and human spaceflight training. And I think this is exactly a very good picture, which shows how broad activities of AATC in fact it is. So from my top 10, we started with education, research, and expeditions. Then we went into stratospheric, diving, engineering, and aviation. Then through underwater, we came up with the habitat and analogs, which is exactly what we are doing there. So if you want to learn more, please go to astronaut.center or aatc.edu.pl. Both of those websites will point to the same place. So you can use whatever you want. But I hope that we will meet during one of our trainings, and hope to see you soon. See you. Thank you for watching.